Yzerman is coming in on that wing. Yzerman cutting in front of the net on a great play. On a nice stop by Jeff Rees. You hardly thought there was enough room to cut in front of the net, but he did.
And Jeff Rees got hurt as Yzerman cut around the Leaf defenseman. He was knocked right into Rees. Steve Yzerman, who's about as quick as a hiccup, gives us another little lesson here on that he's dangerous everywhere. And he cuts right around the Leaf defenseman, and then you can see the pileup that occurred. And Jeff Rees hit his back, it looked like, on the goalpost. Now, whether that's where he got hurt or not remains to be seen, but this guy's got a pair of awfully quick feet. It's Foligno that can't handle him. And then Rees hits his back right there, Bob, as Yzerman, Foligno pile into him.
Looked like Todd Gill ran into Yzerman trying to check him in case there was a rebound.
Chris Broadhurst, the trainer's been out in the ice more than a lot of the Leaf players lately. He was out there Wednesday night in L.A. when Tom Fergus took that awful hit from Dave Taylor.
Penalty about to expire to Taylor. Now does it!
And then Fergus is really in a lot of pain here. And it's very difficult to say what problem it is.
I think he's just I think he was out of breath there, Harry.
And all the Leafs looking very, very concerned. The second last home stand for the Maple Leafs this season. The last one being Tuesday coming up against Chicago. And now they have the goaltender, Jeff Rees, onto that stretcher. And I think you're right, Harry. They'll take him directly to the hospital just up the road here. Very close to Maple Leaf Gardens. Right now, the teams are at full strength, and the Leafs had a 3-on-1, but a scrap broke out in behind the play. Petit and Fedek.
Well, Fedek was certainly the aggressor in this one, and it's very unlike Brent Fedek to get involved physically. It's always been one of the knocks on him as a player. He's a bright player, he's a good-sized kid, he's smart, he can skate, but not much in the way of combativeness. But something must have happened earlier in the shift for Mr. Fedek to get as involved as he did. Brent Fedek leads his team in the plus-minus department with a +20. Comes in for the takeout on Petit. Oh, you can see what upset him. Petit cross-checked him right across the face as Fedek came in for the check. But Fedek, I think, will get the aggressor here unless the referee saw the cross-check too.
Penalty to number 14, Brent Fedek. 2 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting. Toronto penalty to number 22, Michel Petit. 5 minutes for fighting.
Here to be tied up, but he got loose. Marsh played it in on the right side. And a hard shot by Potvin going down. Here's Fedek's shot. Hurt, I believe, with the first shot. And very slow getting back on his skates. He's not up yet. The referee is back there and now calls the play. And Rees started the game. He left with an injury. And now Peter Ing has been hurt.
He was hit right on the mask or the helmet with that bullet shot. And don't forget now, Jeff Rees is not available to come in. Rhodes, the kid who played last night, is with Newmarket. They're off on the road somewhere. And the question is, if Peter Ing can't continue, Bob, it's between you or I who go down and plays goal for the Leafs, and I'm not leaving the booth.
Well, I was just going to say, I think I'll stay here for tonight. Here's the shot. It was a wicked drive. Ing had some problem picking it up, and it hit him high on the shoulder. Now look at him. He's down, and he stays there.
He makes a save when I'm sure he has no idea where he is. He tries to get up now as the puck went out of the zone and fell back down. He appears to be all right.
Fedorov back in the net. One hands it out front. Ing down. He smothered it. But a nice play again by Fedorov, who circled everybody and the net. And with one arm came out and nearly knocked it in. And 30 seconds left in the second period. Zezel trying to start something. Scrap will break up now and behind Peter Ing.
Mark Potvin and Wendell Clark. Clark got Potvin's mask off. He's playing with getting over a broken cheekbone. And so he's got the full face mask.
Clark getting loose. And the right hand loose. And Scampanello this time is staying his distance. Clark got the left loose now.
Potvin was recalled last week from Adirondack, where in 63 games he had 365 minutes in penalties. But it's pretty tough when you fight and want to fight and you're wearing a full face mask. Clark had to rip it off his head before he got a chance to battle. But on the other hand, this young guy, who is a tough customer, broke his cheekbone, and you can't blame him for wearing some protection, but really, he shouldn't get involved in any fights. Let's have a look at it. I'm not sure whether any of the three officials saw it. Burr is all right. He's cut. But he went down. Now watch the face-off right here. The puck goes down.
The stick comes
and
up.
Peter Zezel just trying to pick Sean Burr's stick up, pitchforks him right here. You see, he's got his stick under Burr's, and he's trying to hold Burr's stick away while he steps out toward the half-one draw. And there's Sean trying to get a 5-minute major, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere, do you?
Ron Murray is up on the bench over there, and he doesn't like the non-call.
There's not a penalty, Sean says.
What they will do in the playoffs, they pick up the last spot in the North. So the question mark, there's going to be a penalty against the Maple Leafs on the play. Ramage sailing in there, checked his man. And the gathering occurs.
Ramage decked Gary Suchuk with a punch after they both collided.
A double minor. 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for roughing. So 4 minutes. Ramage in the box.
Well, you're going to see the first penalty right here. Suchuk takes Ramage into the boards. Ramage doesn't like it. It comes across with a left that knocks Suchuk down.
Well, that prevented the shot from getting on net. Good play by Hannon. Dumped it just wide. Hannon, a bid for a shorthander. Here's Allen. Score! Shorthanded ball. Allen shot taped in front of the net. Dompu skating down, and he has some room going in. Dompu, some of the breaks, face back. Here's Merwall. Scores! Merwall. The teams are at full strength now. Zambo had a notion to move in. The Leafs are leading 2-1. Cecil and Lehman are going up now. And Clark trailing the play. Clark barging in there. There's a snap going on down the ice. That was going off for quite a while. Potvin again for Detroit. And Ramage for the Maple Leafs are going at it.
Well, it started between Garpenloff and Ramage. Then the masked Marvel, Potvin, came running in with the big shield on his face.
Watch it.
And
Clark and Primo, Harry, are pushing and shoving near the blue line. There they are.
I mean, I don't think a guy that wears a full face mask should be allowed to continue after he fights once. I mean, it's his business to wear one. And we know that this young man has a good reason to wear one. He's got a broken cheekbone, but he shouldn't fight.
Clark and Primo are going to go. You know, when Clark fought earlier in the hockey game, he hurt his hand. Remember, he left the penalty bench, and Lehman served the penalty for him. And the instigating part of the penalty, he had a minor and a major. He had left for the clinic, and Clark is reluctant to go right here with Primo.
Well, he fought the masked Marvel in the first one, too. And probably the first punch of the fight landed on the mask. I mean, that's my point. If you wear a mask to protect an injury, you shouldn't fight. And as we know, Potvin has started both fights. But here's how the whole scheme started. Down in the corner, it was Ramage and Garpenloff. And of course, Garpenloff has never been in a scrap, but he and Ramage lay on top of each other, switched positions while the puck went up the length of the rink. Potvin saw this was happening and came running down and challenged and started to fight with Ramage. Now, Ramage didn't appreciate. He gives him a knee. Now, here comes Potvin with the mask. And there's the mask. I mean, Jacques Cousteau didn't wear a mask that fancy to go to the bottom of the Indian Ocean when he was exploring for new fishes. So this guy should be gone when you fight with a mask like that.
Potvin draws 4 minutes.
gets 2 for instigating for sure, because he wasn't even involved in the skirmish. Now, he's a tough kid. I'm not taking anything away from his desire to get involved physically, but while he's wearing that full shield, he can't do it. I don't think it's at all fair.
Here's Allen. Slapped it into the corner. Leafs pass it around well. 2:10 left on their power play. They're ahead. Here's a quick shot. Score! Cecil scores! 20 seconds remaining in the third. That Detroit net gaping down there. No Leaf with a shot at it yet. This time. Scores! Todd Gill. Pull the trigger from center ice. And Toronto wins this one. 4-1.
And also, this Potvin, you won't believe this, folks.
Mark Potvin of the Red Wings.
Yes, I went to Cindy Lambert of the Detroit News, and I said, you better talk to this Potvin kid. I was watching the game with Hartford the other night. He challenged John Stevens of Hartford. John Stevens drops his gloves. He looks up, full face mask, and he cut him. He should not be allowed to do what he's doing, and that's a shame what happened. Wendell's hands all banged up.
Bill McCurry handled it well, though. Yeah.
What about Montreal? TV, folks?